A 19-year-old British man allegedly attempted to assassinate Donald Trump at a Las Vegas rally over the weekend. Police say he started chatting with one of their officers at the event and claimed he wanted to get Trump's autograph. Instead, he tried to take the officer's gun, and officers quickly took him into custody. When officials asked him why he tried to take the officer's gun, he said to shoot and kill Trump, which that's pretty direct. Admitting that he expected to be killed during the attempt, he allegedly told investigators he practiced shooting at a nearby gun range the day before the rally, and he further stated that if he were on the street tomorrow, he would try this again. He claimed he'd been planning to kill Trump for about a year, but decided to act on this occasion because he finally felt confident about trying it. Now, as I said, this is a 19-year-old British man. He is illegally overstaying his time in America. He's apparently been living in LA in a car for 30 days. He's been in the U.S. for about a year and a half. So he was able to go about 6 months before he decided to assassinate one of our presidential candidates. Okay. Thank you for your restraint.
Luckily, as with a lot of people who have insane ideas like this, he was fairly incompetent. He's like, oh, I practiced at a gun range for a long time. But he forgot to practice how to take a gun from a cop.
Yeah, which I gather is difficult.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to practice and probably a hard thing to pull off.
Yeah.
And schmuck, you live in America. Do you have any idea how easy it is to buy a gun? I mean, even if you do, like, first of all, you just walk into any place and be like, yeah, I've overstayed my visa. You could have told them that you're on the terrorist watch list. They would have given you a gun anyway.
Buy it online.
Right. You could come in and say, I have mental issues and I'm a possible terrorist. They're like, oh, great, no problem. 38 minutes later, you'd have a gun.
No, but Cenk, this is just a distraction. The pro-gunners would say it doesn't matter whether he had to reach for the gun of the cop or if he'd walked in with an assault weapon. You're focusing on the tool. It's all about the person. It doesn't matter what the weapon is,
man.
It
turns out in this case, he didn't have the tool, and hence Donald Trump is still alive.
Yeah, thank God he didn't have a gun of his own, especially an assault weapon.
That's right. Now, so thank God it didn't work, and he's a clown. And anyone who thinks of anything remotely similar, there was a guy who bum rushed the stage back when and then Trump did this. Don't do anything like that. Because the very, one, it is deeply immoral, 100% the wrong thing to do. The second thing is, if you are opposed to Trump, there couldn't be a more counterproductive way of trying to fight him, because then you turn him into a victim and create great sympathy for him. If he survives, if he doesn't survive, you're a murderer and a horrible, horrible person, plus you've made him a martyr forever. I mean, it's just such a terrible, terrible idea in every way imaginable. Okay, I clarify that because apparently there's some crazy people out there in the world who think maybe it's a good idea. No, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, there are no justifiable circumstances for political violence in America.
Right. Now, finally, let me make a little bit of a prediction here, and we'll get to see if I'm right or wrong about this. And this one's a little dangerous because it's not a safe prediction. Okay. Now, first off, if his name was not a British name, but instead was Muhammad Abdul, that this, first of all, would have been the biggest news in America right now. Yeah, you can't prove that out, right? But
it would.
I think you know. I think you know, right? So that's the first half. If it was a Muslim, and Trump would have been like, oh, Muslims trying to assassinate me. I told you. Right. Okay. Now, the actual prediction
He would have brought back Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah.
That's the only British wall I can think of.
He is actually undocumented. If anyone is an illegal alien, it's this guy.
Violent, illegal, undocumented immigrant.
Now, this is, in reality, I hate to say it, but a golden opportunity. Thank God it didn't work, et cetera, right? So now it becomes a golden opportunity for Trump to say, I told you that the illegal immigrants are criminals and ready to do violence.
Yeah.
But I suspect, and this is why this is what I'm saying is a dangerous prediction, because he could easily do that, and it would be a win for him. It would be a big win for him.
He already hates Britain.
Right. But I suspect that he won't, because he won't think to do it, because the guy isn't Mexican.
That's true.
Since he's from Britain and white.
Or from Afghan.
as he would say. Since the guy is white and British, my guess is that Trump will, bloviate about it, and he's got every right to, right? And talk about it, and then he'll let it go. But if the guy was a Mexican undocumented immigrant trying to kill him,
done.
Oh, he would, and you know this, he would never stop talking about it.
Yeah.
He would pounce on it, he'd make ads about it, he'd do this and this. So now let's see. Because if it isn't about race, he would do all those things that I just listed about this guy.
Yeah.
My guess is, and my prediction is, he won't. He'll talk about it a little bit and then let it go. Because it isn't about immigrants, it isn't about criminals, it's about race. So we'll see. I could be proven wrong. Maybe a Trump guy is watching right now, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll have affected the results. But my guess is, no. After a little while, they'll let it go, and they'll completely forget about it because it was a white guy.